Hello, everyone. It's Dakota from Everyday Life. Today, we're going to talk about the Diddy, JayZ, Busby Now Shapiro case. Okay, how's everybody doing? It's 6 o'clock in the afternoon here in Pennsylvania. It's snowing. It's snowing here. I love snow. Well, today I want to talk about JayZ, Diddy, and the lawyers, or should I say the children, because that's what they're acting like. We got four grown men going crazy. But, as far as Diddy goes, Diddy's guilty, period. That's just the way I think it is. I know everything's alleged, but Diddy, I don't think we have to worry about him. Now, the JayZ story, and I'll just do a little recap. I know everybody knows that JayZ has been accused of graping along with Diddy, allegedly. We don't know if it's true. Along with Diddy at the end of a BMA award party, and she got out of the house, and there were other celebrities around, and she went to a store, called her father, got help. Father came to pick her up. Father has amnesia, doesn't even remember driving his daughter for hours back and forth. And, I say, fathers can be paid off too, but I don't know. That's just my thoughts. That's alleged, but that's what we're going to talk about today. And it's so interesting. You guys, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Donations would be greatly appreciated because I am a new channel trying to grow and I absolutely love YouTube. I love making videos. I just love watching videos. We are better than the news because the news just give you information on the surface, but content creators and YouTubers, we analyze the hell out of situations. Okay, you can't get many, and we're like all kinds of variations: educated, uneducated, black, white, Chinese, Indian chiefs, purple people, blue people, you name it, cup people, glass people, everything. So we all have different views, and you get a lot of information. So now let me get into this JayZ case. You want to hear? Well, you know what? I'm not going to say JayZ. I'm going to say Diddy because I don't want Alex Spiro, who is JayZ's lawyer. I don't want him coming after me. So let's just say the Diddy case because Diddy was in that house with JayZ and the other celebrities. So, okay, listen. I was doing some research and I ran across a young lady, and her name is Tissa. Tissa Tells. That's her YouTube channel. Check it out. She's great. Okay. She analyzes her and a young lady named Amala. They are so good at this. But she did some digging. And if she is correct in her assumptions, and some of her assumptions are court or laws, court rulings, so she can't be wrong with those. But if she is correct, she needs to go work for Busby or Spiro or whoever. She needs to be a lawyer because she did some digging, and then I did some digging. And you know what? She's right. JayZ better watch it. He's got work to do to prove his innocence because she was spot on with some of the things that she found out. Okay, now the things that she found out. Now I know that Tony Busby is supposed to be on vacation on the beach sipping margaritas somewhere. He deserves it. The man looks a little stressed in the face. He's tired. He's dealing with Diddy and all these victims and all the stuff that he must have heard. It can't be easy on you. So enjoy your vacation, Tony Busby. But Tony, if you watch Tessa Tells, you need to hire this young lady. Okay. And like I said, the things that she is saying, I believe he already has because he is just too cool and too smooth to not be going crazy with the allegations that's coming across him. You know what? I'm embarrassed to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Do you guys know that Rock Nation, which is JayZ's baby, has filed a lawsuit against Tony Busby because he was having a relationship with a young lady, which is his business, nobody cares. But he allegedly gave this young lady an STD. And I say this because this is how they're acting like children. Who gives a damn? I mean, it's not fun to have an STD, but who gives a damn about Tony Busby's private life? It's not about Busby. It's not. It's about the Diddy and his domino effect. Okay, so this is what I found. Okay, there is something in law called stare decisis. Stare decisis. Look it up. Stare DeSaces. Ask Alexa what it is. And what it is when lawyers cite previous cases to set the precedent for their current case. Okay, it's called stare decisis. And I believe this is what Busby has up his sleeve. I believe he's been going back to cases trying to win for for the 13-year-old victim and all the other victims. Okay, now let me read to you a stare decisis case. All right, it is okay. It's called the case of Paisulu. Paisulu versus the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of New York. Anybody ever heard of Paisulu? Okay. So, and this is in 2021, which wasn't that long ago. It involved claims under the New York Child Victims Act, which is called the CVA, Child Victims Act. David Paisulu alleged that between 1965 and 1967, when he was a minor, he was sexually abused by Edward Gaynor, who was a teacher and a coach. Okay, minor is the operative word. The lawsuit named the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of New York and the Church of Immaculate Heart of Mary as defendants, asserting that they knew or should have known about Gaynor's abusive behavior and they failed to protect him. The court addressed whether this is when it comes to a minor, the court addressed whether exact dates of abuse which occurred decades earlier were required. So let me read that again. The courts addressed whether exact dates of abuse which occurred decades earlier were required. It concluded that for incidents recurring long after they occurred, like the 13-year-old girl was a long time ago, particularly involving minors, and she was 13, provided a range of years instead of specific dates is acceptable. So if the little girl don't know the exact dates, it's acceptable to a court of law. Okay, that's called stare decisis. They went back to find another case. The decision reflects the reality that survivors often struggle to recall precise dates to the trauma and time lapse. So, you're not going to tell me that Tony Busby is not laying on the beach thinking about previous cases, because that's what lawyers do. Okay, so now as far as the young lady that I told you that did the research, okay, the case was not okay. The one other thing was this Paisulu case. It was not a state case. Okay, it was a federal case, and federal cases do not bind. And what that means is, when you're doing a federal case, and if they have a gap or they need more information, then they go over to state information. So if the federal government came into a gap with Diddy, they could go to this state case. Okay, so there's a little bit more to this Paisulu case, and I'm going to let this young lady who I ran across, who did an excellent job, check out. She's going to read the rest of this Paisulu case. Check this out.
Y'all doing today? Well, baby, if you are Sean Diddy Combs, and maybe JayZ, all I gotta say is not on my watch. You guys, if you don't know, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, there was a brief drop by Alex Spiro on Friday, who represents JayZ. Now, let me just be clear. Alex Spiro is a legal mastermind. He filed an emergency motion to dismiss. Why was that so important? Because he filed an emergency motion to dismiss the case against Diddy, too. Yes, JayZ was named, but it was also the case against Diddy. Now, you guys, if you will allow me to cook, I have spent the day, because Tony Busby is out there drinking margaritas. And I said, no, baby, Sean Diddy Combs is not going free on my watch. I decided to clock in. To let y'all know I'm more than a good read and a funny drag. I decided to clock in, do some investigation, and make sure justice is served. I promise you, you guys are patient with me, and I have a PowerPoint presentation. I have receipts with everything that will blow your mind. I have receipts that will prove this 13-year-old is in fact telling the truth, or at the end of the day, there's a very high probability, and that this case is going to be moved forward. I guarantee you, just be patient. If you can't be patient, I'll do a 10-minute recap when this live is over. But baby, we are about to get into the Nancy Drew What It Do, and you know old school tattletales. Hit that like button. You know it.
Okay, so you see, she's very passionate, and I just wanted to give you that brief overview of what she thinks about the Diddy and the JayZ situation. Okay, check this out. Okay. All right.
You're all slow. I like to cook and then give y'all appetizers. Give you a little charcuterie board before we get to the soup, the appetizer, the entree. And baby, you know I love a good dessert, okay? Now, the court emphasized that dates and times are sometimes approximate and incapable of calendrical exactitude. In such cases, it held that survivors should not be penalized for lack of specificity if their claims provide enough detail for the defendants to investigate. The case has potential value for arguing in federal court that individuals who are neurodivergent or impaired may face similar challenges recalling exact details, supporting the admissibility of approximate dates or descriptions in abuse claims. Now, Tony Busby is not from New York. He's a Texas lawyer. He would have.
Okay, did you guys get that? Did you guys get that? If a victim has neurodivergence, I think they call it neurodivergency, and they're a minor, then their brains can be foggy and they might not remember everything. Right? I mean, it makes so much sense. And you're not going to tell me that Tony Busby doesn't know all this. That's why he's laying on the beach relaxing. Okay, let's continue a little bit. Okay, here we go.
Be allowed to proceed. I actually think they will be allowed to proceed. Hold on, you guys. We're getting a little bit more into the case law, and then we'll get into the receipts, okay? They said the applicability of state law in federal cases. Federal courts often apply state substantial law, I just read you second court appellate, in cases brought under diversity jurisdiction or involving state law claims such as negligence. Thus, the reasoning from Pasula, which relies on New York state law, could be persuasive in federal court for similar claims. The Pasula decision, particularly its interpretation of the Child Victims Act, could help guide federal courts addressing claims of childhood sexual abuse under New York law. For instance, federal judges may rely on Pasula's approach to approximate dates, considering motions to dismiss for insufficient pleading of specific dates. Now,
you understand what she said? The little girl might not be able to remember all the dates, but when you're a minor and you have some kind of neurodeficiency, it's understood that it's not weird for them not to be able to recall certain things. Okay? I mean, she goes on and on for like an hour and a half. But I'm sorry, she found some great information. Now, remember the little girl said that she was taken to the house by a limousine driver. We don't know where the limousine driver is. And he said, "Oh, you're just the kind that, Diddy likes. So come and meet me at 9:30 and I'll take you to the house." And then he took her to the house. Well, she said that the house was a big white house. And she said that it had a round driveway. Okay. And then there was some discrepancies with, well, Diddy doesn't have a house with a white house, or, something about the house wasn't right. But remember, Diddy has more than one house, and houses can be rented. So let's continue. She did more research on the house situation. Let's continue.
That she drove about 20 minutes to this house with a huge, it looked like it was white. Again, she was a kid. It was many years ago when light cast its stuff on houses. it has a tendency to maybe make them look white. Or maybe in a child's memory, since everybody was dressed in white and it's all decked out. I don't know. The point is, I was looking and I was like, why is everybody on Twitter pulling up pictures of Diddy's Manhattan residence? Because I remember when he sold that residence. And I said, was there ever any chance that Diddy rented, lived, or had a place in New Jersey? You know what I found out? 9 years later, this was an article from 2016. Diddy finally sells his sprawling Alpine, New Jersey estate.
Nice house.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if I can draw your attention to the shape of the driveway. Let's not forget that Diddy didn't like having freak-offs in his home. Diddy's place of residence was a penthouse. In the federal government papers and also in Cassie's lawsuit, they all said that Diddy rented out, and Meek Mill's birthday, he rented out homes. He kept homes only for freak-offs. He would go to hotels if he couldn't go. He didn't like that nasty stuff happening in his house. And I know what y'all saying, but he had alleged freak-offs in his Miami home. Nah. Diddy had 2 homes. One was for freaking. One was for sleeping. Star Island Mansion 1 and 2, which were right next to each other. One specifically was used for freak-offs, and the other one is where his...
Now, who buys a house just to have X in it for freak-offs? Talking about money to waste.
Family stayed. Okay? The other one is where his family stayed. This is his New Jersey mansion. Not many people know about this New Jersey mansion. Why is that? Because it seems that it was only used for special events, special parties, if you will, special freak-offs. People are saying that Diddy used for possible freak-offs timed with huge events that happened in New York City because it was right over the tunnel, just like the LA home was used allegedly. I don't actually know what happened, but again, I actually don't know what happened in LA home, so we'll just move past that, right? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if I can draw your attention to this round driveway, does this not look like what a possible 13 to 16-year-old, or actually if it's 3 years, depending on when her birthday falls, 13 to 15 or 16-year-old girl might see as pulling up into a huge round driveway? Is it not in Jersey, as she said? Did Diddy not own this house and he just sold it in 2016? This house in Alpine, New Jersey is a very rarefied air. Mary J. Blige, fabulous. A lot of people in the entertainment industry actually own houses. It is in a part of Bergen County. Again, it seems like even off of an internet search, somebody tell Tony Busby to wake the F up, or not even him, his research assistant, right? Does it not, hold on really quickly, you guys, 1 second.
Okay. So, sounds pretty convincing to me. What about you? I don't know. The little girl had inconsistencies, but I don't know. According to Starry DeSasis, if I'm pronouncing it right, it's understood that she would have inconsistencies. And you're not going to tell me that Tony Busby does not know this. Okay? He's not worth $50 million for no reason. Okay, so what do you guys think about that? I think she did a great job with the research. I really do. And finally, the girl has a mental impairment, as we all know. Yet she was on CNN News and they were grilling her. So this is what the young lady Tissa has to say about that. And we're going to wrap this up.
Oh, but there are more. Now, while this is another article, while this is about the same argument, while this doesn't necessarily mean the two have a long-standing beef, this alleged incident would lend further credence to the American gangster star's previous assertions as to why he famously does not indulge in the...
We don't want to hear about Denzel Washington. We want to hear about, okay.
Online, literally willing to let Diddy off the hook, to go after and literally rip apart a woman with autism,
Right.
with cognitive disabilities,
Right.
that is doing her best to bravely come forward. Who, if NBC News and mainstream media were and do the Busby Law Firm, were doing them MFing job, instead of being so quick to expose this brave woman as a liar, why didn't you actually look and see, was there any universe that her story could be true? Because there is a universe.
Right.
It's called 2003 VMAs. The location's the same. The after party she said happened was there. The Eminem performing on the concert on the street was there. We have Good Charlotte was there. We have Diddy talking trash to a 13-year-old girl on camera looking creepy AF. We have JayZ there. We have JayZ performed on stage, right? And again, let me just be clear, because I don't want no problems with Alex Sparrow. We're going to see what happens in the JayZ case, okay? We are going to see what happens in the JayZ case, but I'm...
Okay. All right. So, once again, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's called stare decisis. When you go back to set the precedent for your current case. Now, Spiro, who is JayZ's lawyer, and Busby, who is the lawyer for all the victims, they're just going back and forth, back and forth. They're suing each other. Um, Busby sued Spiro for seeking out his previous victims and trying to give them $10,000 to give Busby frivolous lawsuits, and it looks like right now he has two that he's fighting because of those shenanigans. And oh my God, Busby's being charged with giving STDs to some lady somewhere, which is totally stupid. So what the hell? We got these two men fighting each other in the public. Two high powered, intelligent, smart men fighting each other. This is not about you, Tony Busby and Shapiro, or not Shapiro. That's the governor, right? Was it Alec Spiro? Spiro. It's not about you. What about the victim? I think all of this is just like what they call the okey doke. My brother used to say, don't fall for the okey doke. They're trying to sidetrack you from what's really going on. They're trying to sidetrack you. Well, they can't sidetrack us from Diddy's victims because Diddy is just, I don't know, he's just in a league by himself. When when they say Lucifer, see, every time I start to say something bad, I start to choke. That's what I get. Okay, so Diddy's Lucifer, JayZ. Like I said, I something in me is saying that he's not guilty of this. Okay, Spiro. So you don't come after me either. I don't think JayZ is guilty of this. Is he innocent of anything else? Okay. Is any of us innocent of anything else? I don't think there's a person on the planet that is not guilty of something. And another thing is there's this French company who they're the front man for JayZ's champagne and Beyonce's some kind of brown liquor she has her label on. Right now, they suspended them because they feel like they're an embarrassment. So they suspended them until we see what's going to happen with this case. And that's where we are now. That's where we are now. So I just want to say, shout out again to Tissa Tells, because I can tell she did a lot of research on this. And I learned something today. I learned some of the legal terms about going back to set the precedent. Keeps your brain sharp, right? That's why I love doing YouTube. I love doing YouTube because you're always learning. You're like a person that might go to work and have a job, like, I don't know, say you might work at Burger King, or you might work for You might be a teacher and all your lessons are the same. No, maybe not a teacher. No, not take that back. But a job where you don't get much mental stimulation. When you're doing YouTube, your brain, it doesn't matter how old you are, and YouTube is great for older people too, because your brains are sparking, the neurons are sparking. Like as opposed to a person that sits and watch TV all day long, their brains are not sparking anymore; they're just dying. But when you stay in the learning mode, and then you take what you've learned and send it over to other people. So you stay in the learning mode, you stay in the teaching mode, it's great. It's just like your brain is like sharper. I started my YouTube channel. Yeah, I opened it up back, I believe, in March of this year, but I didn't really like get on to put videos on it until maybe a month ago, month and a half ago. And I have 400 subscribers already. And my goal is 100. I mean, 100. My goal is 1,000. If I get 1,000 subscribers, then I can start to go live and do a lot of other stuff. So, I really enjoy YouTube, and you guys are my family. So please subscribe. Please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. And thank you for all the subscribers who have already subscribed. And you guys have a wonderful night. And hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.